Well, all right, guys, we are going to be working on the truck again today. So we got to finish tearing down the rest of everything that we need to tear down. I threw the valve cover on top just to keep it all closed off. But wonderful, right here we have our engine all torn apart. So what we're going to be messing with is we have the timing chain guide broken with a missing bolt, and they probably fell in our oil pan. So we're going to have to pull our oil pan and get the debris out from the oil pan. Obviously, we don't want that flying into our engine. Who knows how long it's been in there, so hopefully it already hasn't caused some damage. But I'm going to lift up the truck now. A bunch of 10mm bolts. I'm going to pull them all off. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. They're all going up. And rip this thing off and see what we have going on down there. All right, don't worry. We got jacks and jack stands. But we're under here now. And we need to remove the engine cross member because we can't drop the oil pan with this here, unfortunately. So it's just 2 bolts, 3/4 nuts on this end. I'm sure it's 3/4 bolts on the back. I think, although I just did change this gasket last year, we're already here, so we're going to change the oil pan gasket as well. Because how often am I going to take the oil pan off, you know? So I definitely got some metal rolling around in there. I'm not going to say that's a good thing, but it's a good thing the bolt is down there and didn't get sucked up somewhere, somehow, some way, whatever. So hopefully we pull this down. There's no damage to the crank or anything like that, anything visible, and we'll be in business. All right, and just like that, engine cross member is off. We were able to pull this off, no problem. So your little dipstick sticking through here, and everything's looking okay. To be honest, I don't see any like real damage. But in here, I'll pull this out so you can hear it. You can see it all right there. We're gonna dump this out, get a good clean in here, and go get a new gasket and slap it back on the truck. So what I'm going to do right now is peel off any old gasket or gasket maker on my oil pan. And I just bought a new gasket. We're going to go pick it up from the store in a few minutes with our new water pump. And I will see you guys outside in just a minute, and we'll start pulling the chain off the truck. All right, we've gotten the oil pan all cleaned out. And now what we're going to do is take the right size Allen key, plug it into this, and plug it in down here and remove those bolts. I think this one is free flowing because the tensioner is pushing on it, and so for that reason there's not going to be another bolt up there. And well, we're just going to peel those off, give this a good clean, scrape off any gasket maker, and I'm going to apply a light layer of gasket maker around the places where coolant is flowing in and out. But with that being said, I have new gaskets coming in. So this all should be pretty easy, to be honest. I even leave the oil pan off. That way I can just fit the timing chain cover and then do the oil pan last. Just a thought. I might plug it up in there for now. I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. But I'm also going to be changing the tensioner, so we're going to pull that off right now too, which looks to be 2 10mm bolts. All right, guys, so lastly, all I got to do is remove my cam gear. I could just about pull this chain off legit without it, but we're going to pull the cam gear now to remove the chain. I don't think I'm going to replace the other cam gear, to be honest. We'll see. Or actually, I really might not have to pull the cam gear to get the chain off. Down here, if it's looking loose enough, yeah, look at that. We don't even need to. We're good. All right, cool. I think I'm just going to use the stock cam gear as long as all the teeth are looking good compared to the new one. If the new teeth are looking like way better, way more aggressive or something, we'll use that. But I don't see any foul play in using the stock one. Well, to be honest, I was today years old when I found out why these have these half moons. I always wondered why. I could never figure it out, and this is exactly why. Obviously, this is supposed to be metric. This fits on there just fine. I'm not pulling it off. I'm just timing it. I don't think you should counter rotate this at all, but in my case I'm going to just turn this up a little bit to have this straight up and down. When we get our new chain, is either going to have a dimple like right here and somewhere else down the chain, or it'll have 2 oddly colored links. So the point of that is right here, this dot is not top dead center. That's just saying where to put the oddball link, whether it's punctured or different color. This needs to be straight up and down. And then down here, after you set the engine to top dead center, like I show you in the first video, if you haven't watched the first video, go check it out. Right under here, it may be a little tricky to see, but there is a puncture right down there. And that's where the second different colored link or punctured link will sit. So all I got to do right now is just scrape off any of the gasket maker. I did get new plugs. I'm not too sure if I'm going to just keep these here. They look pretty healthy. I'll figure it out as I go. I don't really plan to change the sprocket. It looks fine. It's a little bit of extra work. Yeah, I'm here, but I mean, if it's not broke, why fix it? So I'm not too stressed about that. But honestly, this install is going pretty good so far. We'll see how it goes once I install it, but I'm pretty confident right now. I'm having a good time actually just working on this. I actually put a wrench on this and just moved it up slightly, and everything is looking really good right now, guys. So we're going to just hit that with a razor. Awesome. Legit, everything is all cleaned up. I'm going to go pick up the oil pan gasket, and I'm going to install it for now, and I'll just loosen it up a little bit when I go to put the timing chain cover on, just so I'm not leaving everything that's down here all exposed. So other than that, that's pretty much the next step, is throw the oil pan back up there, put the engine cross member back on, and wait until the timing chain comes in. Well, here we are. It's a new day. We got our new oil pan gasket. I wish I could have gotten a rubber one instead of the quartz one, but it seemed to be all the parts store had, so it's not a big deal. It's just, I think with synthetic oil, I was told that it'll go through the quartz gasket a little easier, but not the end of the world. If I'm having any big leaks, I'll just pull it again and add some silicone, but I don't think that'll be necessary. So we're going to cut this off. I'm going to lay it on there, and we're going to go slap the oil pan back on the truck. As we're back under here now, I tightened up my oil pan with a new gasket, and we've reinstalled the engine cross member. So all I got to wait for now is that chain to come in. I can throw that on, hopefully without removing the sprockets, and the timing chain guides will be what keeps it tight to the gears. So you guys want to know what I just realized? You for real right now? Look at that. That is so bad. Guess I really got to go get a front end alignment, huh? Wow, that is terrible. It's both sides, too. Well, add it to the list. I think in the meantime, I'm going to make a video for a separate thing, just changing my spark plugs and my cap and rotor. And I'm also going to be changing my tie rod ends and tires in another video, because that would be a lot of content for this one vid. So I'm going to make that in between then and now. But just some clarification for you guys, because mid-video the wheels are just going to randomly change while I'm working on another video. I am going to be throwing on these wheels, so once I start the truck, we can at least go test drive it and make sure that the truck is running good. I don't even want to send it on a 2-minute test drive on wheels like that. That's so unsafe. I didn't even realize they were that bad either. I knew they were wearing, but that was some crazy wear. It is yet another new day, guys, and we just got the timing chain kit in finally. It's only been like 4 days, to be honest, but oh man, I'm so excited. We're gonna start piling this thing together as much as we can. It is extremely windy, so I apologize for that. But as you'll see, these guides have metal backings now, so they shouldn't explode and go all crazy in my engine bay, hopefully. Man, I am so excited. There is a better tensioner that a company sells, but I just went with whatever came in the kit. So I'm not too upset with that. I'm gonna pull the chain out, inspect everything, and just start going crazy with it. Well, we can peel all this back. And one thing I did decide on is I was going to use new gaskets, but I'm just gonna run gasket maker instead. It seems like that's what they did from the factory anyway, so you know, no harm in that. I picked up, I have Honda Bond and another gray gasket maker, but I'm going to peel the valve cover off and I'm going to put the new chain on. Okay, yet again, one more explanation. So, the colored link goes right here, and the other oddball colored link is going to go on the dot that's down here. So, you just want to make sure these splines are facing up on both the engine and the pulley down here. And looks like we're pretty good to go. So we're going to apply our tensioner right here. We're going to put in the guide. Well, I'm actually going to add the guides first and put the tensioner back up here after I install the guides. Also, I know this may bother some people, and that's completely fine. I decided personally not to change my my sprocket or my cam gear. It just really wasn't seeming to be all that necessary. I mean, it's all pretty much in tip-top shape. Might have a little wear, but I mean, it's not something I was too worried about. So just something I wanted to throw out there for you guys. But one thing I wanted to mention as well is we are going to add Loctite to the threads of these, so these do not come loose. Who knows? They could have came loose first, and then the chain could have broken the guide, or maybe the guide broke and then the bolt went loose. But not something you want jumping around your engine. We're gonna Loctite that and get this mounted up there. Should be a pretty easy, self-explanatory install. Just sitting here like this. So far we've gotten this guide on, and we just applied this guide. It's going to sit loose until that tensioner is put on here. So we're gonna open up the tensioner now and just use all of the old hardware. So this piece, legitimately, the long side facing up, you want the pin facing the guide. We're gonna apply it here, and after that, we'll pull the pin on camera. That was a win right there. Now, bam, pull the pin. We are good to go. We have our timing chain on. All right, that's the end of the video. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna throw this whole thing back together. I'll just kind of walk you guys through some of the fast steps. I mean, you watch me take it apart. Basically, do everything in reverse per usual on these vids. But I think next I'm gonna start getting the timing chain cover ready to go on the engine, which I've cleaned up a bit, and I've cleaned up all the faces of it. So we're going to apply just some gasket maker, whether I use this Mega Gray or this Honda Bond. So I'm excited. I do apologize in advance. I won't be able to get a ton of videos putting this on because it's just me, but this is how the caulking is going to look. I threw a slight light layer on the top and bottom just because why not? And I'm going to try to apply this now. Wish me luck. Alrighty guys, so far, not so bad. I moved these so I could tighten them from the bottom from now on, if I ever have to get to them again. Before I put in the alternator brackets, for sure, I threw the bolt in there for now just to help tighten the timing chain cover evenly. Just kind of like star patterned it until it was tightened down. I'm going to add this little piece back here, wherever it is. I still don't know what it is. And just going to put some silicone around it, apply it. And I think once that's on, we'll throw the alternator bracket on. We're going to tighten up our bolts up here. And I'm also going to go down below and finish tightening up the oil pan bolts so I can drop the truck. All right, the oil pan is now tightened. Again, I did the same thing. Just say this is my oil pan. We went up, down, left, right, crisscross, just, you know, like a star pattern the best we could to get that all tightened up. And so now, the part I was looking for, I thought I bagged it, is actually just hanging out right here. So I'm just going to put a slight layer of silicone and send this on here. I just ordered a new thermostat. If you're already here, you might as well replace it. And we'll just throw that on and then get the alternator bolted up. All right, the bracket's on. We attached this hose up here with some more silicone. We've attached that one down there. I do have a water pump gasket, but no matter what, I think I'm just gonna run the silicone all the same, to be honest. I don't know what the point of running a gasket in between two pieces of silicone would be. So we are going to, I think, send the water pump next, which is pretty exciting. We're getting pretty close to being done this project. And I'm also gonna go grab the crankshaft pulley, I think. Or actually, I'm going to wait to put that on because we got to put the oil pump in and the distributor at the same time. All right, so we have our new water pump. A while back, if you've been watching the channel, we had some issues with water pumps on the purple truck and clutch fans. So we swapped over to electric fans, but I just wanted this newer one. Obviously, it looks 10 times better, and it's a good maintenance part to change. This is a factory one, and this is the aftermarket. So we're going to grab our bolts. I'm just going to run a layer of silicone and go slap this on the truck. All right, we got the water pump on now. That is looking so clean. Now we're going to come over to here, and we're going to install our distributor and our oil pump. So I got my bolts in my oil pump. Those are going to go in last. This little rod does disconnect, and it only goes in one way. You'll know. So we're going to pop this out now. So as you will see, this thing will spin around pretty freely. I only have one hand, and so will the distributor. See, we can move this all around. So there is a half moon. It's like a step. This only fits in one way and has to be pretty much perfect. So what we're going to do is take our distributor. We're going to place that in the block first. I'm going to clean it up first, but we're going to set that in place. And I've made, I don't know if it's good to draw on this half of the distributor, but kind of just did what I had to. I made 3 marks to line up, and that's where my #1 spark plug is, because we have the engine time to top dead center. You can see that in part 1. And now we just gotta feed this through so it perfectly fits the distributor. Legit perfect timing. Like as I'm talking to you guys, and we're just about to do this part, I think, and I'm hoping that's what's in this box, is the gasket for the oil pump. I ordered some bigger gaskets that were supposed to go for the whole timing chain, but I don't know, I almost just didn't trust them enough. So I'm gonna slide this all out of the way just for a second and see what's in this box. Hey, look at that. This is legit what we needed, like right this very second. Okay, well that was really cool. We got our new gasket on there. I don't have a gasket for the distributor. I don't really even know if it's really going to need one. It's got that little O-ring, so I'm not too worried about it. If I have issues, I'll silicone it or something later, or we'll just get a real gasket. Not a big deal, but I'm probably gonna go ask a second person, or I can use tape to hold the distributor in place while I feed this up and make sure it fits in all at once. I do have a prior video showing you how to time the engine, or how to do this a little bit better, but it's pretty self-explanatory, because if you follow the steps in the first video, top dead center, you're going to want that on spark plug number 1, like I said, and you feed this up so it fits the distributor. Guys, that actually went very, very well. That was like first try. We got the oil pump tightened down. I'm going to tighten down the distributor next. Look at that. The 3 lines are perfectly set, and right there I have a little mark for where the number 1 cylinder was, so that is pretty exciting. I've never really gotten that first try, so that's game on. This is going to be the last part of how to replace your timing chain series, so it's just 2 parts, but in the next video I'm going to be changing the spark plugs, the cap and rotor, and the trigger disc. Hopefully I got a new trigger disc from DIY Auto, so that'll help with the Mega Squirt ECU. That way we don't have any shudder or like a little dead zone when we blip the throttle. And being jumped timing too probably didn't help too much. Alright guys, so the next step, now that we've gotten everything tightened down, is we're going to throw this distributor cap on. As you can see, it looked like mud came out of here when I unplugged this. I'm going to reinstall it for right now because we have a new one on the way. And the cap's not looking too bad. There's a little bit of wear, and the button too is seeing a little wear. I don't think it's that old, but I could be wrong. I may have not have replaced it before. So we're going to get this set up on here, tighten down our screws, and start plugging in our spark plugs. That took about 5 seconds. I'm pretty sure the order was 1, 2, 3, 4. We've plugged in the plug from the coil pack, and also make sure you plug it in over here and apply your, I think it's a little ground. I don't think it's a power switch. It might be, I think it's ground. But anyway, doesn't matter. Just make sure you plug it in. And now we're going to go down here and install our crankshaft pulley, which fell right out of the bottom of the bag. So that was great. You just want to lightly apply this, and you can just start tightening the bolts to get it onto where it needs to go. And it is notched, so it'll only go on one way. So I did have a viewer mention to me in a previous video I could just use bolts for this, and I do plan to, but currently I'm just going to run the nuts again because it's just convenient right now, and I'm hoping to get this all put together so the silicone can dry so we can start it in the morning. I think this is the last part we're going to need any of the silicone for, and we're going to silicone this housing. I got my 3 bolts, and we have our thermostat, and the cool part is our thermostat legitimately just sits, bam, just like that easy. And we just put this pulley on, so that's tight now, and we're getting pretty close. I don't know if I want to put oil in it tonight or not. We'll see in a little bit. Sweet, the belt is now on there. We're just going to tighten this up. I just brought the radiator over so we can install that. And I'm going to possibly wait to fill it with coolant again until morning. But we're making some real progress. Alright guys, and in that time, we just dropped the radiator feet back into their holes. We tightened up our 2 10mm bolts. I've attached my hoses up top and down below. And we're going to wire back up the electric fans, which will be super easy. Then I think we're going to plug back in the battery and probably go get the new valve cover, which is super hype. Sweet, we made some crazy great progress on this today. I'm going to off camera install the valve cover so you guys can see what it's going to look like in the morning. I'm very hyped for that. I just wired up all the stuff for the electric fans. And in the morning, I'm going to come back out here and add some oil and coolant. I am going to spill just a little bit of oil all over this chain, just so it's not dry by any means when we start the truck. And I'm going to tie up a couple little loose ends, nothing crazy that you guys will need to know that are like very important. And just like lowering the truck back on the ground. And I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, guys, one more clip. So we've gotten the gasket on the valve cover, and now I'm about to throw it on. I thought it was going to be this one with this little loop in it, but I realized it's probably for the dual overhead cam. So I'm anxious about this, but I'm excited. So I'm going to drop that in now. All right, guys, I know I keep saying I'm going to come back in the morning. Maybe I can cut that out of the video. But we torqued our wheels. I legitimately put everything together. I filled all the fluids. I was reading the silicone. It said it's got like an hour dry time. Spent a couple hours. So we're going to give this a start. See what happens. Let's just hope for the best. May start a little funny because because I don't have the computer, so it might be reading timing way off or something, but I don't know. We'll just figure it out as we go. Nothing like giving it a start. I'm gonna put my camera down too if it starts fine, so I can make sure my fluids are all up to par, because I just put new oil. So here we go. Turn on the fans and fingers crossed. Man, I'm anxious about this right now. Of course that's gonna do that. Wow, sounds pretty good so far. I'm gonna let it run for a sec and turn it off. But boys, I think we did it. Yo, like that's a big step. Like this truck's taught me a lot, you know. Obviously you never want to open this while it's hot, but I'm only opening it because that fluid's gonna drain out in a few. A lot of new parts, so there's gonna be a couple of weird noises for the next few seconds. But very, very proud of myself, to be honest. All right, I'll catch up with you guys. All right, I had to add a little bit of oil. It's burning some oil off of there. I'm letting some bubbles burp out of the system, and I just used like another half of that coolant jug, so I'm just gonna let it run for a few, maybe take it up and down the street real quick and see how it goes. So actually I just realized I am actually going to wait until the morning to go test drive this. I'm just letting some of the air bubbles bleed out of the system, but I want to make sure I retime the engine so the computer knows where zero truly is at this point, because of that jump timing. So it's probably like way ahead. It sounded like the thermostat just opened, or maybe the electric fans just kicked on. So it's about like 150 degrees about. Hey, what is up, everybody? So it is a new day, a beautiful one at that. Just popped the hood. We set up the computer because we're going to be messing with our timing again, making sure we are set where we need to be. Don't worry about if you're not running an aftermarket ECU. You can use a timing light to make sure your timing is all set and all that fun stuff, but that's not something I would stress about. But just for the sake of our channel, this is something I have to do on my truck specifically, so I'm going to hook up the timing light, get all that timed in. Also, got that pretty dirty because I kept putting bolts on it. That's fine. But check this out. Woo! That is beautiful in there. I'm so hype about it. The glitter looks pretty funny on camera, but in person it's very fine. It comes out very like, there it is. Woo! That is beautiful. I gotta get the grill back on the truck. I just want to start it, take it for a test drive, time it, and I'll see you guys in the truck once I start test driving. So, okay, real fast. You can see we got the timing light set up, and we are like 25 degrees right now, which is not good. So, I'm going to go into my computer. I do have to hit use table first, or fix. Yeah, I have to use table, so we're going to hit this, ignition options, and wheel decoder. Then we're going to hit fix timing, burn that. And then using this number right here, we're going to tell the computer where 0 degrees is. Figured I'd just tell you guys it anyway. So I put this on that line again, and we are up ahead 10 degrees. So I got to bump that down until it's hitting 0. Might be a little hard for you guys to see on camera. But anyway, you get the point. And then I'll hit use table again, and we should be good. So as you can see, we've achieved 0. So I can pull these off. So now right this very second, the engine is firing at top dead center, which isn't good. But we have now told the computer where 0 degrees was on the engine. So I've changed my fixed timing to 10 degrees, as you've seen like 2 videos ago. And I'll just hit burn. All right, and now I've just changed my fixed timing to use table. So now we are advanced 10 degrees. So everything should be good now. Like I said, I was crazy high off. So I'm gonna go take it for a test drive. I just left this open to let it bleed out any more air bubbles. Seems to be doing pretty good. So I think I'm gonna fill it with coolant and take it for a ride. Also, again, I wanted to make just a specific video shouting out my friend Flip and Customize for doing this project. Unfortunately, you know, the timing chain ended up going bad, and so whatever, it happens. But huge shout out to him for this. I mean, I am in love with the way this came out. I can't wait to have the matching intake done by him as well. So for sure, any other powder coating needs we need done on this channel, we will forever go to Flip and Customize. His turnaround time was great. He gave me progress pictures of the process. Like, he was very, very, like, in contact with me about the whole process. So yeah, very, very thankful for that opportunity to be able to work with him. And now his work is forever on the truck, which is super cool. So gonna probably take this thing for a test drive, and I'll see you in the truck. So the truck is running a little hot. I'll probably actually just kill it and come back out and start it in a few, just to let it cool down. It's probably because I had the radiator cap open up wide, so I'll be right back. All right, now we're down where we needed to be. I'm gonna go take this thing for a rip and make sure everything's going as it should. Okay, so our only issue right now is we're getting a little too hot for my comfort. So I'm just gonna get this thing home. I'm only up the street. All right, guys, so I just stopped by the parts store, and the thermostat I have opens up at 170, which is exactly what we want, so that's good. I think my problem is I just need to bleed the air out of the coolant system. So with that being said, that should be pretty easy. I am going to do that in the next video because I have a bunch of maintenance to do. So like I said, that's part 2 that shows you everything you need to do to install to change your timing chain. And we're going to see you guys in the next video if you want to watch me bleed my coolant or figure out how I do it. But I'm going to tie this video up right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Technically part 3, but it'll be a new video. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.